Is Ryan adding value today?
Yeah! Yeah, Milan! That's up! Yeah!
Welcome back, everyone, to episode 13 of Seeing Off the New Ball, a Bergvliet Cricket Club original. This past weekend was a bit of a funny one for the club as we saw 1 win, 2 losses, and sharing of the points in the first team fixtures. The boys had the bit between their teeth to get across the line. My name is Greg, your host, and joining me today is the only regular we seem to have at the moment. Kenny, how you doing? How's your weekend?
Very good, man. Anxiety issues aside, I'm glad I wasn't playing because it was, as people down here would say, hot. So some extreme temperatures, and I mean, when I saw some of the footage from people, like when Tim posted that footage of that ground.
Address of venue, pitch type, shade availability.
Oh my god, it's this hot here. Who's running hell?
No one is.
Make a plan. Make a plan.
I'm dying.
Hello, boys. That's quite nice. Bit of a green tinge to it. The devil thorns. Yeah, there will be very little ground fielding.
I think it was rolled this morning.
Don't you want to put a key in there for us, Petey? See how deep it goes?
I don't have a key, but doesn't go very deep, eh? Still looking for shade, Tim.
I'm looking for shade. There's shade. This is going to be fierce. I'm keeping a little glass today.
I'll be honest, I was quite happy I wasn't playing.
Zero cover. Oh, yeah. And then just a quick one, hopefully a running segment, but roommate update. Did you leave the toilet seat up? How's old Lloyd Williams doing?
No, he's doing well. Occasionally leaves lights on, which I'm OCD about.
Yes.
We have a little stumple competition now as well. That's stumple for cricket. I think I'm winning.
Good. Kenny and I, we do run a separate podcast rating Malva puddings. Link in the bio. In this episode today, we've got the club treasure joining us as we unpack the Miracle Men's fixture. We hopefully will have Rayhaan on as he just tries to sort out his data issues. And we've got a very special guest joining us a little bit later. So we're going to start with the Thirsties. So the Thirsties travelled away to Cravenby. Kenny, have you played away at Cravenby before?
Negative.
Okay, it's in our Bergvliet anthems.
Yes.
Some formative core memories formed on Cravenby away. But this was one of the 2 Sunday games that ended in losses in both games. I got a full rundown from Adam via voice notes with a few expletives in it. Just not enough runs on the board. Just one of those days as the boys went down by 5 wickets.
Again, of course, no stumps for this game, so hard to get some strike rates and stuff going. But it looked like there was a bit of a slump at the start, and then semi-recovery from William fine leg Solomon. Some of the footage, a lot of the balls on leg side again, standard Solomon stuff.
The only man to cover drive over fine leg aerially for 6. Fantastic.
And often.
Correct.
Adam with another duck. I know that he apparently got more runs, but I'm just going to say that he made a duck.
Okay.
And I think they lost by 5 wickets.
5 wickets. It just sounds like it just was one of those days. I mean, as I said, I had the rundown. William and James in the middle order got 26 and 31 respectively. When you're looking at a rear 9 and 10th wicket, well, I'd say partnership, but individual innings of 15 and 21 from Sean and Adam respectively, just to get to something somewhat defendable. Just one of those days. And then I also heard Biceptosaurus doing his knee on the one run up.
Looking at that team lineup, that's a strong team. Apart from number 10, I'm just going to keep burning Adam until he joins the show to defend himself.
He was very proud to tell me that he hit one shot for 6 because he did score 21, and he was actually quite disappointed that he batted himself. So, well, I say himself, but he's director of cricket. He should be able to bat where he wants. He played this one shot, he tells me, over deep mid wicket. He was very, very proud to say deep mid wicket and not just mid wicket, because I mean direction is a direction. But anyway, and a 6 is a 6, so anything's over deep mid wicket. Anyway, I'm going off it. That's the Thirsties. Big weekend coming up for them as they look to put that loss behind them. We're going to move on to the Miracle Men. Struan and Rayhaan are going to join us for the 2s and the 1s. How are you boys doing, Struan?
Yeah,
and Rayhaan, how are you getting on there? I see you're already at work there. The pitfalls. We blame load shedding. I think there's just no other way of going about it.
Give me your attention, baby.
I mean, they travelled to their neighbours, Polesmore Cricket Club, and high hopes were on the fixture with Club Treasure in the 11. Many were expecting a just business as usual, as Struan would have gone to 30-0, undefeated. Struan, take us through the match on Sunday, or not even take us through the match. What I actually want to focus on, as I'll stop all the disturbed the background, take us through not even the match as yet, but take us through your Sunday morning, your pre-match, your routine. Did anything change? Did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Did you guys run out of milk for your coffee? What happened? Take us through your Sunday morning.
Absolutely nothing had changed. I woke up ready to go. On arriving at the venue, I was feeling a little bit negative at having a quick look at the wicket. It was an absolute go track, and I thought, here we go. This is going to be an exciting game, and I'm scared.
29-1. I think that's all I was following when Tim was going through the updates, and I was just thinking of yourself. I was just thinking of the story.
The downfall started when someone mentioned on Monday that he's going to get 30-0. It was premature. I don't think you can blame the club treasurer here or ex-club treasurer. We'll leave that in the comments for people to decide whether he's still the club treasurer or not. Someone jinxed it on Monday. It's the same as Chairman Fields when we were playing England, and he's going on about how this is amazing cricket, blah, blah, blah. And what do you know? An overlaid, there's a wicket. It's the same thing. Yeah. People need to learn. Superstition in cricket is there for a reason, and it's real.
We wouldn't have gems like Neil McKenzie taping his cricket bat to the ceiling if superstition wasn't a real thing. So what I think we need to do is investigate, and actually, I think we need to go back and find who put the mockers on Struan's 30-0, and we need to assign blame, because this is an absolute travesty. Struan, getting onto the cricket.
Oh, it's so dry here again. Is Ryan adding value today? The side screen operator, the scorecard operator.
I know nothing.
Never ever.
Jesse Caswell batted very well for his 50. I mean, the boys must have felt that the game was going along nicely when Jesse was going and banging balls there. That go track just caught up with your middle order.
So we got off to quite a slow start in the beginning. At drinks, I think we were 63 for 2 or 3. Skipper went out. I walked out to bat with Caswell. Put on about a 90-run partnership. Then we were right back in the game. And then I went out, Caswell went out, and it was up to our tail enders. Needing 6,
Deep-seated feels. Oh, there you've got the 3 amigos over there. Oh. Feels amigo.
Sensible cricket.
Turn the knife in. Turn the knife.
Then we had a bit of a brain fart there from our number 9, and he tried to hit a 6 off the first ball of the last over and got bowled. And I was just like, fuck this.
Was that Jamie by any chance?
Oh, yes. Oh yes.
Number
It's
8.
Jamie. And I've been backing that man to be the finisher for many years now. So he's let me down.
And then I felt a little bit confused in my life because a sad one.
I'm crestfallen, absolutely crestfallen. I mean, you literally have never drank a beer at the club out of your left hand until this past weekend.
I didn't go.
You didn't go.
Never beer.
Wise.
Did someone with the empty bottle.
I mean, Tim Scholz went through the calendar month of October drinking with his left hand, and you've never had that feeling. So let's not wallow in it.
So just one last question for the club treasure. Who has been your favorite team to play with?
Just an opportune moment for you to just say the ones. I love the ones. I love Bryden. I love how the ones talk, and the bant on the field is fantastic. And
I don't have to think about that.
I like it.
Speaking about treasures, we move over to the first team. They found themselves at hopefully one of their new homes away from home at the Wynberg military base for their fixture against North Pine Cricket Club. And it was ultimately the Pine that ended the day for the boys as they could not finish their fixture as a fire broke out next to the field. Kenny, you like that whole play on Pine, North Pine?
Love it.
Okay, I think that was one of my better ones. As a fire broke out next to the field with Bryden stranded out there on 47, off 47 deliveries. I mean, quite an elaborate 50 avoidance with 7 wickets in hand, chasing 148. They were on 88 for 3, poised, ready to take the fixture. Where was Duckworth and where was Lewis? Surely those two oaks needed to come out here. We're talking about the elements. It can rain. There can be a fire next to the field. Where was old Duckworth and Lewis?
Duckworth and Lewis have caused more fires with their actual formulas, especially in Europe. So, bitter pill to swallow. I think it looked like we were going to win that game pretty comfortably as well. I mean, the run rate was really good. I was hoping Calvin would be here, but unfortunately, those imagined dragons have become real. Unable to make the pod yet again. But it was quite interesting because my intel told me that we had a lunch watchman come out and bat to protect the other brother from having to bat before lunch. And as Calvin rightfully said on the group, didn't work out so well as Aiden got the big 0.
A lunch watchman. I've never heard of that term. It's fantastic.
Neither of us.
Struun, have you ever seen a lunch watchman?
No, not at all. And I work in the food industry.
So we had a lunch watchman, and unfortunately didn't take advantage of his position of being batting the top of the order. And not only that as well, he also directed Calvin to see off and over, so didn't quite do the job. I mean, he was there at lunch, so I guess sort of worked, but he also did make Calvin block out and over.
Looking at the run chart, you've got 4 and 5, Bryden at 351 runs, and Aiden at 323 runs. So, conspiracy? I mean, there must be the internal monologue going between the two as the end of the season approaches on the run scoring charts.
No, well, I went down to actually watch a bit of the cricket, but on arrival, there was a massive fire. Actually saw no cricket. Bryden was trying to put out the fire in full batting gear, which was quite remarkable.
How was he trying to put the fire
listen,
out?
the guy wanted to get to 50, so...
No, I look at sense. I don't blame him.
How was he trying to put the fire out? Was he just like throwing some tap water at it, or
just chucking blue Powerades in there?
No, they had little hose pipes, and obviously I thought they could have gone back out to play, but obviously Mr. Jacobs was like, no, it's going to be too hot for the fielders down that end. I reckon if we had been fielding, we'd have been like, who cares, we're going out to field, because that's just who we are. And they were actually short 2 balls to actually get a result. So,
what?
Yeah.
I mean, that's an absolute travesty. Wow. As the skipper of North Pine driving away from Wynberg military base, I definitely would not be... I'll leave it there. We won't get too controversial. I would not be happy about having a no result short of two balls. So hopefully it was just up to the umpires, and hopefully there was nothing that could have been done.
This is going to lead to a side rant here, but I'll keep it very short and sweet. Common sense has got to prevail. Cool, if it is too hot there, it's 2 balls for a result. Just don't put a fielder by the fire for 2 balls to get a result.
The fire was out by then, eh?
Fire was out by then. We'll leave that there. We're going to move on to the Titans.
No fun. 146. 18 overs.
absolute massive occasion here as we have the man who's always behind the scenes, behind the camera, producer Peter. He's always in our ears as we record this podcast, but now he's with us normal common folk to take us through his momentous achievement of scoring his first ton for the club, first ton I'd imagine ever, against Heideveldt Cricket Club. Peter Greef, absolutely wonderful to have you in front of the camera.
Yes, Peter! That's 100, bugger! Woo! Peter! Celebrate!
Come on, fella!
That man's first 100 for the club. He is going to get so fucked up tonight. What a fucking legend. What a legend.
Oh, I got this. He's just celebrating.
Yeah, PD, not going home tonight, bugger. The man of the hour. Well done, PD. So raise of that bat, bugger. Yeah. That man, eh? He knows how to fuck right now.
What an innings, and welcome to the show.
How's it, guys? Hello.
So how are you feeling right now? How does that 100 glow still feel?
It's a bit unreal. You know, at 30 years of age, I kind of gave up on it kind of being a possibility.
You've got 3 gents in this pod just smiling ear to ear like just proud dads.
Okay, let's just start again. Let's just start the whole segment again.
We are keeping all of this in. Okay, we are keeping all of this in. Take us through just the thoughts in your head. I mean, you said you were nervous for the first ball. Take us through your thoughts when you hit those runs down to long on.
It was basically just trying to get as many runs as possible, and I didn't know it was coming. So I was surprised.
To be honest,
So you did-
I'm actually not sure who was happier about you getting to 100, you or Fields. It was really actually goosebump stuff, seeing how truly stoked the man was for his fellow batter to get the 100.
100%.
In fact, I think he celebrated better than you, which is probably why he started yelling at you to actually celebrate it.
Yeah, he knew it was coming, so he was waiting for it. He said, yeah, he just hoped I didn't see the cameras. I think we were losing like wickets, and I was just feeling a little bit like, okay, we're losing momentum. He came in with 10 overs left. I think we said 5 overs survive, and then we go at it. So we were only talking about that, counting down the balls.
Side note here, Struan's phone has died
I'm
because
talking a
he's
lot.
been...
Or you've put him to sleep.
Or you put it to sleep. But
How did you handle the heat? Because that looked like a very uncomfortably hot field to be making a big knock, to be batting for a long period of time. How did you survive that?
Ball by ball, you know, like it's my fellow batsmen were asking for water 10, 12 balls into the innings. Like, I don't ask for water. If it's there, I'll take it. If somebody just hands me water,
so
like
you
I
did
do.
actually have some
Yeah,
water.
yeah. Like everybody else was asking for
So
water
you
the
didn't
whole
pull a
time,
Hashim
and I was just
Amla
getting
and
water.
just not have any water
Yeah.
whatsoever.
people are thinking that you were doing an Iron Man out there. So you actually did hydrate a bit. So you
pulling a Hashim Amla.
we get it. Peter, so how did your wife and family react to your innings? I mean, did you tell them over WhatsApp? Was your wife and child at the side of the field?
Arno was on the group when the videos got posted on the BCC group, and he just forwarded it to my wife. And then, she forwarded it to the family groups, and everybody was so keen and excited. And I got awesome messages. Yeah, my mom said she cried. I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, my mom cried. Yeah.
So that's club sport, bro. Like we're not professional athletes. We're all the lead actor in our own movies, and that's awesome to hear. When you came home that night, you put the keys down and you just walked in there, gave your wife a kiss, and you're like, oh, I've had a good day out.
It was surreal. It still doesn't really feel like 105 not out from Hashim Amla that I've seen him do against Australia.
Or did you bring out your trademark Chinese cut at all? Or?
Started off classic edge through the slips to off the mark. I got dropped. Guess how many times?
7.
No, I got dropped 6 times.
I got a message from Tim Scholz Fields, and it was a nice little message. He was saying there's club legend Jonathan Thomas in the first century for the club. The stories go that he got dropped multiple occasions. I think the running tally at the moment is 47 times he got dropped, tongue in cheek. And Tim sent me a nice message saying that Peter went to his ton in JT fashion, getting dropped 6 times. I'm glad you came out and said it, because that was going to be my next point to bring up.
It's really cool as well. Again, that first 100 is always special as well. So massive congrats, man.
I hope it's not the last one. When I was at school and until I was the age of 26, my highest score in a like league game was 4 runs. And only at the age of 29, which is like a year and a half ago, my highest score was 7 for the BCC playing from like 2016.
Just as a side note here as well, in case people actually don't realize this, the history of Peter Krief is he joined the club as a 12th man, and all he wanted to be was 12th man. He was quite happy just to come there for the gears, to do nothing else, and now look, you're getting hundreds, bro. I mean, that's great, really. It just shows what a bit of hard work can do.
To go from in the 30s in terms of top run scorers in the club to 17, 190 runs for the season. Astounding. Absolutely amazing. Was there a man of the match decision that was made by the captain and Chairman Fields? Was there a discussion?
There was one mention of it the entire day, about 10 balls into the opposition chase. I was standing point. The opening batsman slightly missed it. It's sailing over my head and I'm running backwards, and then I turn and I catch it one hand.
It's your day.
And I just I had it like in my hand. I shot the batsman and I just took like this lap around the field in front of all the supporters, and then got to the huddle, and Elaine said, we can't decide now if Peter is man of the match. Let's give him 2 or 3 more catches. I mean, that was
That's a nice.
Judge Dredd coming down hard.
You don't even contemplate losing a match after scoring a first innings.
Wow. We got 283.
Yeah.
At some point, there was a rumor going on the field that they needed like 40 off 18 or 40 off 12, which wasn't true. They needed like 80 at the time. But we were lacking in the field. Lots of boundaries were coming. And there set batsman that was dropped on 40 odd by Tim Scholes.
I like the name and shame.
Yeah, no, he dropped the guy that went to 109 not out. He dropped him at about 40 odd. So he did damage after the drop, and Tim was feeling it. He came in to bowl the last few overs. I told him, I didn't want to lose. I think Elaine wanted to put Ziad on, and Tim was like, Elaine, no, I'm bowling. And he took the ball and he bowled like his first over in the 33rd over of the 35 over innings was Tim Scholes' opening over. And he wanted to defend my century, so lekker.
Nice. They were threatening at one stage. You guys won quite comfortably in the end, but at one stage, they were going at it. I mean, they definitely didn't just write that innings off. They were like, look, we got to try win this. Like, there was definitely no sign of surrender from there. Yeah, Titans, just too hot. Just too hot.
Just too hot. Those Titans. Those Titans. I think that's a good place to end it there for the Titans. Peter, it is tradition. You've been producer for all these 12 episodes before this, but you're in front of the camera. So quickfire, Madeiras or Pirates?
Madeiras.
Favorite away venue? Obviously high default away, right?
I mean, it was an experience. It's around the bush away.
And then best player you have played with?
William Solomon is good, eh? Like, he's... He can play. He's kind of got that BMT, like he's the guy that gets the last runs, the winning runs after a classic BCC collapse.
He does definitely grab the game by the scruff of the neck every time. When the match is on the line, you want Solomon on your side.
Favorite type of dismissal?
I'm not necessarily known for bowling, but when they try to hit me to cow or straight over my head, they just mistime it, stops edge straight up, and they start walking because it's so obvious.
Loosest teammate you have played with?
Ziad.
Another mention for Ziad, hey? Loosest teammates. Amazing. Which shot would you steal from another club member?
Rayhaan van Niekerk square drive.
Who are your batters of the week? I'll start with you, Kenny.
I mean, I'm gonna have to go with our man behind
Bryden,
the scenes.
Or 47. No, I'm joking.
I'm gonna put an honorable mention out. Obviously, there's only one person. That's Peter Krief with the maiden 100 is my batter of the week. A little shout out to the Judge Dredd, Elaine Peterson.
Well done, the skipper!
He finally got over his 50 avoidance, first of all. And second of all, he's now the leading run scorer in the club.
Another special mention for Caswell in the losing effort for the Miracle Men. But Peter Krief, the coronation of Batter of the Week is definitely sewn up. You're welcome to nominate yourself for Batter of the Week, by the way.
I'm gonna agree with Kenny on this one because
No, you're too humble.
no,
You're too humble.
because if Elaine didn't go out, I wouldn't have gotten my ton.
Well, you're not going to unpack that because Bowler of the Week.
Again, a shout out to Bryden for the 4 wickets, but I'm going to go with Matty James. I think he got 1 or 2 sticks, but it's put him to the leading wicket taker of the season so far. It's coming into a proper race.
Peter, Bowler of the Week.
Good old Gigi.
Oh, you took it out of my mouth.
Stop it.
Back in the sticks, my that catch at point was off his
The
opening
slowest of
over.
poisons.
The opener.
Did he opened the boat.
What? Okay, I'm not even gonna entertain that question.
Put respect on his name, Kenny.
I think he got the first 2 sticks of the game, and it was
Yeah.
it seemed to have been 2 confident batsmen as well. He deserved more, and up until the start of his 7th over, his figures were looking quite good.
So we'll leave that there. My Bowler of the Week was going to be GG, but Bryden, for me, 4 wickets. Just a shout out for Lloyd Williams. I see he's creeping up there. He's 9th on the list here, so bit of roommate cred there. Team of the Week. This is the first time this season that Kenny will have to choose anybody else, or I assume he's going to have to choose anybody else.
I'm going to have to go with the mirror, the Titans.
The Titans.
There's only one team.
They're getting hot. They're coming back.
The only team to have won this week as well. Yeah, it has to be the Mighty Titans.
Boys, great episode. Best of luck to the teams for this weekend.
Streaming, and I was like, Friday, you